When did conservative values become about one man? When did faith go from looking upward to looking the other way? Donald Trump doesn't represent the party of Lincoln.
Elon Musk. Who controls the computer systems that decide if you get your tax refund or disaster relief?
We at the Lincoln Project are confident that Donald Trump understands his position. Elon is smarter, wealthier, more charismatic, has a far superior and more successful social media platform and company.
Watch as we break down the absolute roasting Trump just received courtesy of the Lincoln Project. Their latest ad didn't just criticize Trump, it turned his entire successful businessman image into a comedy routine that had viewers howling while Trump fumed. In this video, we'll show you the exact clips that sent Trump into a tailspin, analyze the masterful way the Lincoln Project weaponized humor against him, and reveal how they expertly highlighted Trump's casino failures alongside Musk's government contract controversies. You won't believe the pathetic way Trump tried to respond when he realized he was being laughed at nationwide. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video. Ever wonder what happens when some of the sharpest Republican minds decide to turn against their former golden boy? Well, the Lincoln Project is giving us a masterclass in political roasting, and Trump is absolutely losing it. These aren't your average boring political ads that make you reach for the remote. The Lincoln Project has pioneered what they call their audience of one strategy. As co-founder Reed Galen revealed, they're laser focused on getting under one specific person's skin, Donald Trump himself. They're so tactical about it that they schedule their ads to run in DC and during Fox News programs when they know the former president is likely glued to his TV.
Elon Musk. Who controls the computer systems that decide if you get your tax refund or disaster relief?
That no matter what happens with Joe Biden, no matter what he decides or what happens in the Democratic Party, you can never take your foot off the gas of attacking Donald Trump.
Or Medicare benefits. Elon Musk. Who gets billions in taxpayer money every year?
Think about it. A group of seasoned Republican operatives like John Weaver, Rick Wilson, and Steve Schmidt, who spent decades perfecting the Republican playbook, are now using that same insider knowledge to troll their former party's leader. It's like if Batman's butler Alfred suddenly started helping the Joker, except in this case, they think Trump is the villain. One of their most devastating ads takes aim at Trump's self-proclaimed business genius. You know how Trump loves to brag about being a very stable genius in business? Well, the Lincoln Project created an ad showcasing his string of epic failures, from his bankrupt casinos to the hilariously short-lived Trump steaks. It's basically a highlight reel of Trump's biggest flops set to music, and it drives him absolutely bonkers. But they didn't stop there. Another brilliant ad brings tech billionaire Elon Musk into the mix, painting him as the puppet master behind Trump. The ad suggests Musk is the real power player, controlling government systems and potentially accessing private data of American citizens.
Who is threatening the Social Security benefits you worked hard for all your life? Elon Musk. Who gets to look at the personal information the government has on you in its databases?
When did conservative values become about one man? When did faith go from looking upward to looking the other way? Donald Trump doesn't represent the party of Lincoln.
That's an economic depression. You think you voted for Trump, but you didn't. You voted for Elon Musk. Oh, Hail, President Elon Musk.
It's a masterful piece that connects Trump's chaotic leadership style with Musk's questionable decisions, suggesting they're two peas in a very unstable pod. What makes these ads so effective isn't just their top-notch production value, it's their psychological precision. These former Republican strategists understand exactly what buttons to push to make Trump explode. Their ads are essentially political trolling elevated to an art form. They're psychological warfare wrapped in humor, targeting Trump's most sensitive spots with surgical precision. The beauty of their approach is its simplicity. They don't need to make stuff up or exaggerate. They simply hold up a mirror to Trump's own words and actions. When reality is this ridiculous, sometimes the most devastating attack is just showing the unvarnished truth.
Joe Biden says he cares about law and order. He says he believes in our institutions, our safety, and the rule of law.
So why is Joe Biden publicly appearing on stage with a convicted felon?
Talk about old movies, playing on his phone, admiring the assets of other men. Meanwhile, President Musk can get down to the business of running the country.
In January 2025, the future that generations were warned about will arrive. We know AI will change everything.
Trump has given them so much material to work with that they could probably keep making these ads until the end of time. And how does Trump respond? Exactly how they want him to. Instead of focusing on actual campaign issues or policy discussions, he wastes precious time rage tweeting about these losers and never Trumpers. He calls them names, he rants, he raves, all while they're living rent-free in his head.
That's your Social Security. That's your Medicare. That's America's roads and bridges.
He did not make a single appeal to a moderate voter, to an independent voter, to a centrist voter, or even to the millions and millions of Republican voters who voted for Nikki Haley this year or Ron DeSantis.
All while controlling the government's payment system. Elon Musk. President Musk says he wants at least $2 trillion in cuts.
Every minute Trump spends fuming about the Lincoln Project is a minute he's not spending on his campaign strategy. The Lincoln Project's founders know Trump better than most. They understand he can't stand being laughed at, especially by former Republicans who once supported his party. There's nothing that irritates him more than becoming the butt of the joke. And when that mockery comes from people who were once insiders, it stings even more. So while Trump's busy throwing his digital temper tantrums, the Lincoln Project keeps churning out more ads, keeping him perpetually distracted and enraged. It's like they've discovered the ultimate Trump kryptonite, mockery from former allies, and they're not afraid to use it. So what's the real genius behind the Lincoln Project strategy? While these ads probably won't convert the MAGA hat-wearing crowd, they're still hitting their target with sniper-like precision.
But a far greater threat is here now. Because that day in January isn't about artificial intelligence. It's about actual stupidity.
We at the Lincoln Project are confident that Donald Trump understands his position. Elon is smarter, wealthier, more charismatic, has a far superior and more successful social media platform and company.
It's the place where Americans look for leadership when the night is at its darkest and when the dawn breaks brightest.
Political experts point out that these former Republican strategists are cleverly using conservative moral values against Trump himself, something that might actually connect with on-the-fence Republican voters. Think about it. Every minute Trump spends rage typing about these terrible losers is another minute he's not focusing on his actual campaign. It's like watching a master chess player sacrifice a pawn while setting up the perfect checkmate. And the best part, these ads aren't just effective political tools, they're legitimately entertaining. They've turned serious political messaging into must-see TV that spreads faster than Trump's latest conspiracy theory. The Orange Menace hates nothing more than becoming America's punchline. But as the Lincoln Project keeps serving up these perfectly roasted Trump burns, it's clear who's getting the last laugh in this political comedy special.